Hey everyone, just a quick little video on doing something a little bit different. I'm going to short stroke my 4.3 Hi Capa. It's a JG Works Hi Capa, had it for quite a few years. It's been really trustworthy, but just want to increase the cycle rate that it fires at. I haven't done too much of this before, so luckily Kerim was able to give me some advice on this. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'll show you what it fires like at the moment. No gels in it, of course, and that'll just give you an idea of kind of what the rate of fire is. It is pretty good considering it's a reasonably just standard blaster. We'll start by stripping it down. It's pretty easy to do. There's just a little pin that sits in there, the locking pin in from there. Take it out from the other side and slide the slider off, and you'll be able to get to it from there. There's a little trick to this. Took a little bit of working out, but there's actually the holder that's sitting in from that. Did take a little bit. I know there's an actual name for it, but I can't remember what it is at the moment. So that locks in. You can take the slide piece out, and that will change out from there. Just be aware, be very careful when you are taking it out. It does have a habit of wanting to spring out like crazy, and you'll end up losing that piece or having to go looking for it. I just made it simple and took it apart and just get the pieces in order. There is a little metal washer on there. Take that off. There's a little rubber O-ring on there. I left that. That's your minimum spacer or your standard spacer for it. I had already had to play with this just to make it a little bit easier and a little bit quicker than playing around with it and having to readjust it. There are different size spacers or shims, whatever you want to call them. Kerim was nice enough to give me a bag full of them of different sizes, and as you will see, there is quite a large one, which is I think is about either a 5 or a 6 mil, and then we've got a slightly smaller one which is around about 2.5, about 3 mil, and then there's a little 2 mil one there. I did find that the large one and the smaller one was the perfect size, so adding on those. I did watch on the videos you can add metal spacers or washers between each level. These are a fairly high-end 3D printed product from Command Elite, so figured that that probably wasn't needed. I'll have a chat to Kerim just to make sure of that anyway. So matter of putting it back. As you can see, be very aware of that spring. It does want to fly away. Just keeping a nice hold of it. I found it a lot easier. Originally started to try and put it in that way. I actually found it easier to almost hold it like a syringe kind of thing, pushing back in. I did make a slight mistake here. It'll teach me. I was more worrying about watching what was going on in the video and making sure that I could see what was going on. That when you watch when I put the slide back on, it doesn't slide all the way back. Has to do with the fact that I hadn't seated that holding spring or the piece at the front. It hadn't been seated in there. There is also a little piece on these. I don't know if it's on normal Hi Capas, but I'll grab a little screwdriver in a second, and I know it's to the edge, but you should be able to see it. There's a little metal pit that pops in and out as part of the upper receiver, and it has a tendency to pop out. You just push that back in, you'll see it come back in. You'll also hear that I managed to get that back in, and it popped that spring back in. It'll come back. As you can see, that's as far as I can push this slider back now, and that is to the point where if I put another one in, I can't actually pull it back. Alright, so the new rate of fire, as you can see, it's a lot more snappy. Doesn't move back as fast, so it's a bit quicker on the trigger. I'll probably have a little play around with the trigger and see if I can get that to be a little bit more responsive as well. But considering it's stock standard and all I've done is add a couple of little extra spaces to it, it's definitely made it a lot faster. I'll give it a play on the next go and give you a review of how it went. So my tiny little YouTube channel is finally almost at 50, which is an awesome first little shall we say milestone that I've been aiming for. So as something a little bit different, I've got a couple of prizes I'm going to do when I hit 50. Probably do it out on a field one day when we're playing, and we've got a nice little one of those gel storm, just the little pistols. So they are a little bit of fun to play with. It's brand new in the box. The other thing I've got, which I had got to use at Wounded Heroes, but unfortunately they are closed now, is actually a gel drone. So had it out enough to power it up and give it a go, but that'll be something else that we'll be looking at. Everything is there. Somebody can always have a little bit of fun with that. Shoots gel balls out of it. So there'll be a couple of things that we'll do videos of handing those out as prizes on the field. But as always, guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button. Thank you.